Welcome to this edition of Mayor's Report Pleasanton. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamina. Joining me today is Mayor Jack Balch from the city of Pleasanton. Welcome to this edition.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here.
What topics would you like to cover today in Mayor's Choice?
Yeah, so always like to let the viewers know what's going on in Pleasanton, and obviously fall is awesome and upon us, so a lot of events to cover. I'll start off, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but PG&E had a town hall in Pleasanton on October 6th to discuss a few things, and we'll get into that in the program. International Walk and Roll to School Day was throughout the entire area in Tri-Valley on October 8th. That is by far great. You get to see the kids coming to school on their scooters, on their bikes, or walking. Really builds community and gets all our drivers aware of the routes our children take to schools, and they really slow down. So that was pretty amazing to do. Something I just want to cover is that the Livermore Pleasanton Fire Department just had its Fire Expo, Safety Expo, well-attended event at the training center. And then people probably know it's Diwali season, I'm calling it. I know it's a series of 5 days, but feels like a season itself. A lot of Diwali events occurring. I attended the one at the fair. The fireworks are outstanding, but there's still several over the next few weeks leading up. And then two things that I really thought to highlight, that I really would like to highlight. The first is that the 5 mayors of the Tri-Valley, so Danville, San Ramon, Dublin, Pleasanton, and Livermore, just had their conference. The City of Pleasanton hosted it, the summit. And we discussed housing. We discussed a whole variety of issues that are facing each of our cities. It was held at Casa Real, and our Assembly Member Bauer Cahan was the moderator. Well done event. Really the crowning achievement of each chamber. We rotate it. So it was just really a pleasure and honor to have Pleasanton be the host this year in my first year as mayor. And then finishing out yesterday, which was a crazy whirlwind of events, we ended up having the 2025 Tri-Valley Life Science Summit. And Dr. Kamina, these individuals creating the next cutting edge life science technology are impressive. Talking with them and coming together about machines that can, read your DNA in record time and just create so much amazing life-saving technology or gene customized healthcare. Was what they were talking about, but I was impressed. I'm a finance guy, so I know they need capital, but Pleasanton is really working on innovation-based businesses. We talked about it at a prior episode about how we've streamlined a lot of the permitting so that we can get these businesses here, that we are more competitive overall as a region. And so the Life Science Summit last night was just a crowning achievement, in my opinion, and really highlighting some of the great work by some of our high-tech life science companies. So a lot going on, a lot more events as we slide into winter, so stay tuned.
Well, very recently, Pleasanton residents have been experiencing power outages, and we're wondering if you could speak directly to that issue and how did that meeting go?
Yeah, so we're really trying to get the word out. Thank you for the question. We're really trying to get the word out to our residents. Many of our residents know maybe anecdotally, but the west side of town has had a lot of power outages particularly. And working with PG&E, there's an infrastructure element to it. There's also what they call emergency power safety shutoff, which is where if a power line detects a tree branch or potential ignition, it de-energizes the line immediately, and then they have to inspect it before they can re-energize the line. And depending on how they do that, whether it's by a crew in a truck or a helicopter or a drone or some other method, it takes various amounts of time, and our residents in town obviously grow extremely frustrated with that during the hot summer months when you need air conditioning or cooling or your refrigerator, as groceries are as expensive as they are. So with great support from Senator McNerney's office himself and his office, as well as the Pleasanton city staff and all of the mayors of the Tri-Valley, PG&E held a town hall on October 6th here in Pleasanton at our senior center. It was attended by Senator McNerney, myself, Councilmember Testa, and a few others. And the key thing they did is they did stations, because we didn't know when people would show up. And so we wanted to be able to have it where you could come during the time and ask your unique questions. But PG&E set up stations, and they answered questions about what they're doing, how they're addressing the problems. It was attended by their Regional Vice President, Jake Ziegelman. And I just want to point out, we say he's vice president, but he's actually running the area that we are in, the entire region that we're in. So it's really, top leadership was here to hear the concerns of Pleasanton. We've had about 100 and some odd people, 130 maybe, residents show up, talk, learn, and understand it, but we're also trying to get out the message. What I want to point out to residents is a year ago, in October of 24, PG&E came before the council and talked about their capital plans. And they were going before the CPUC to get those approved. A lot of the Pleasanton improvement projects were years out. I can't remember offhand, but 28, 30, and further years. Long time. So we were going to have to live with these challenges for a lot longer than we anticipated. Well, coming now to a year later, October 25, and really, again, through the continued communication by the Senator's office and the City Hall and us, 3 of the 5 projects have been completed already, and the remaining 2 that will really significantly reduce outages, or we hope will, are planned for 26 now. So we're actually very pleased that PG&E has elevated or accelerated those capital improvement dollars to be sooner rather than later. And so I can't promise relief. PG&E doesn't report to the City of Pleasanton. It's not something within my sphere of influence. But as mayor and speaking on behalf of the City of Pleasanton and the residents, I'm trying to make sure our voice is heard and why these concerns need to be addressed. So appreciate the question, and we're trying to get them information out.
Thank you so much for that information. And speaking of our utilities, would you give us an update regarding the changes to the water and sewer rates?
Yeah, so just keep on rolling here. You know, infrastructure, maybe I say this, everyone understands infrastructure is critical. We don't think about it too often, but we just expect it to work. And I think that's a reasonable expectation. We expect it to be invested in, to perform, and to work. And water is no different. Basically, the City of Pleasanton has been looking about how our infrastructure is working and how it can propel us to the future, how it can provide the baseline for our businesses to grow, for our community to have all the services they want, and how to really meet the needs of our residents and businesses. So with that, clean, affordable water is top priority. It is essential for life, as we know. And so the City of Pleasanton took on a task of really evaluating our water system in detail. We know the age of every pipe in the ground. We know the age of every pump. We know how long they're expected to last and the replacement cost associated with that when that time completes. From that year-long process, and significant community outreach. I don't know if residents remember, but back in early January, February, we had a couple of water open houses at the Veterans Hall. We went through a very detailed process to figure out what the need was and how quickly to get after the need. And I want to point out, we formed a citizens group. We called it the WAG, the Water Advisory Group. And what they did is they evaluated how quickly do we get after the need. And basically, they chose a pretty mid-range level. We could have gotten much more aggressive, which would have increased rates even more. But there was also a lower one, but it probably would have actually caused us to have more emergency costs and repairs. So we kind of chose a middle ground, and that produced a $73 million investment required.
73 million.
Yeah, and so what we've decided to do is look at taking out about $35 million of that in debt. We hope to get 6% interest and bonds and whatnot. They'll be paid by the water fund. And then between that debt and the water rates, get after that $73 million in investment. But what this will do is it will help us to stop being emergency, right? When you repair something in an emergency, you're just trying to get service restored. And so it's whatever crews on standby are there to address it. And the costs are astronomical. Whereas if you can plan out maintenance and provide notice to residents and be able to schedule it so that it's done at the lowest cost point, which is during the day instead of at midnight or 1 a.m.,
Right, yeah.
you're able to control costs better. So we've got this plan, and from that plan, water rates came out in a unanimous vote, and I think it's because we walked through all of it. And I think our residents understand that no one wants to pay more for water rates. No one wants to pay more for anything, frankly, but we had to be serious about what we need to do to take care of these issues. And so water's the first. We also handled sewer and recycled water a little bit there. So it was a pretty significant process, and there's still a lot of information on the city's website that people can go look at if they have questions.
Thank you for being so complete.
Well, yeah, long-winded maybe is another way to say it.
Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back on this edition of Mayor's Report Pleasanton in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Mayor's Report Pleasanton. We are here talking with Mayor Jack Balch from the city of Pleasanton. Stonebridge is on my mind, and we understand that there continues to be interest in the property acquisition and the development at Stonebridge Mall. What's the status of the plans for the new development there?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for this question. So Stonebridge is not just on your mind, it's on my mind, top of mind, and I get asked about it a lot, so I know it's on our residents' mind. We would like it to be a vibrant economic hub for the city and to regain that, right? And so I think we all have a similar goal towards that. And it does play an important part of Pleasanton. It's not just a shopping destination, but it's obviously a very large retail area, and it's at a key spot on the corner of 580 and 680. So the mall's got a few different challenges. As we know, retail's changing in the world of Amazon and 2-hour delivery. And so what we've been trying to do is work with the property owners to figure out how to get it off its duff and get going. And so there are 4 property owners, people probably know that, and they each have a development agreement whereby they can veto each other. Oh. And so they all have to mutually agree for the benefit of the mall on how they want to proceed forward. In 2024, Simon Property Group, which owns the core of the mall, contributed a significant sum of money to a planning effort whereby the city hired an architect, and the money was used to reimburse the architect, to start working with the owners to plan the overall concept of the mall. In addition, this city council in 2025 prioritized looking at planning the ring of the mall. So if the Simon Architect Group plans inside Stonebridge Mall Loop Drive or the road, planning the outside periphery is now what the city will be doing as part of its planning efforts. And so we're really looking about how to make it vibrant, how to make sure certain elements are handled. You know, it's a little bit of a grocery store desert or food desert over there. We want services over there for some of those businesses and residents. So we're really working to try to change the game a little bit to actually get everyone to the table, right, and get a great reinvestment there. With the economic headwinds overall that some people are feeling, it's difficult to get some of these property owners to invest a lot of money, but we think we have a compelling argument why this area really is an opportunity for us and for Pleasanton to grow. You know, it could be an amazing destination again, and yeah, we're working for that. I will mention that they are going to be coming back to council, and we're going to be getting an update as to where those efforts are for the Simon Architect, for the 4 property owners. Mm-hmm. And housing, I should mention so people are aware, housing will be an element of it, which is very critical for us to watch to make sure that we're managing the traffic appropriately. We all know holiday season generates a lot of traffic to the retail outlets, and so that has to be something we carefully are watching as we plan it out. But it is top of mind for many people in town, as well as the downtown. So we're working diligently.
Simon has been around for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yep. And they're a large, a large firm. So I think they've got some good ideas. We've seen what they've done in some other properties they own. I don't know the configuration of how they own those in other locations, but this one I think provides, like I said, a real opportunity for us.
Thank you. Let me change gears just a slight amount. I'm thinking about Castlewood, I bet you are too. Can you highlight the issues that regarding the possible annexation of Castlewood Country Club and the surrounding area?
Yeah, so thank you for this question. Castlewood is obviously identifies as Pleasanton. Pleasanton probably identifies as Castlewood. We know the history of it with Phoebe Hearst's house and how it ties to Pleasanton so well. Annexation is being considered, I would say, and probably not much more has been done. So when I say that, that's about as far as it's gone, as it's being considered. But it has been many times in the past. So I don't want our residents to think it's a done deal. It's a multi-step process. It requires careful planning before any decisions could be made. Before annexation can move forward, the city really needs to understand what they're bringing to the table. What's the status of their infrastructure, their water, sewer, road system, other community services. And so once we know the infrastructure value or condition, then we can start to evaluate what service costs would be for that. All of this and maintenance and all of that weighed against the potential property tax revenues that the city could have as a result of annexation. So that's generally how it's started, the process has started. But Alameda County has provided some maintenance of the roads, and it's Alameda County maintained. And so they are working, the homeowners of Castlewood are working through the process to try to get their condition report. I will mention that it has to be approved by LAFCO, the local land authority.
Right.
And so LAFCO has heard the matter. I sit on LAFCO, but I did not sit for that particular item, just as a nuance of trying to be very upfront in recusal process, although we'll see how that goes. But the county has to review it, the city has to review it, and I think Pleasanton understands that these are our neighbors, and if there's a win-win here, we'd sure like to probably try to find one.
That's a lot of progress.
Well, everyone's looking at, like I said, everyone's running reports and trying to figure out the condition of everything. So yes. I don't know if it's a lot of progress or a lot of talking, but the concept exists.
Certainly does. Are there any other upcoming events you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, usually I have a long list, but actually the city of Pleasanton has put out a very long list. We have started a cultural celebration series to bring together the community to celebrate the many cultures and diversity of our region and our city. So these are all family-friendly events that highlight different things. The next one is Dia los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, which is happening November 1st at the Pleasanton Senior Center from 1 to 3. That's a pretty amazing event overall.
It's just sort of coincidental that the Day of the Dead and senior citizens might be in the same breath.
I didn't say that, Mr. Kamina, Dr. Kamina. So we'll just say that it's there. We have the Diwali event that's been occurring, like I mentioned at the beginning. There's many Diwali events throughout the whole Tri-Valley. And so, hopefully people are able to enjoy that. And that's the triumph of light over darkness, of education over ignorance. So there's a lot of wonderful themes in that celebration. And then some other cool things that they highlighted for me to bring up is the bilingual story time will be at the Pleasanton Library at 1 p.m. Following the Day of the Dead on November 1st. I'm sorry, I missed the line here. And then they're going to have a music time at 1:30. So those will all be going on, and we just hope that people are able to do it. Also, Pleasanton Unified School District is doing the World Dance Program at 2 p.m. So lots going on. Get involved. I also want to maybe just put a quick shout out to Pleasanton Unified School District. We're always excited when our partner organizations succeed, and they just had the ribbon cutting for the new fields at Pleasanton Middle School. And that was just recently. And that's a major investment they've done, and it benefits our kids with outdoor activities and a safe place to play, explore, track, field, etc. So a lot of great things going on in Pleasanton.
Well, just not long ago, one of your main high schools in Pleasanton, I won't want to name the name because of the competition, did a wonderful job in beating Dublin in a big game that we televised. Okay.
Yes, lots of, yeah, and and it's, like I said, fall is just an outstanding time of year and just a great place to spend it in the Tri-Valley.
Are there any other events you'd like to bring to the table?
Well, we have the Foothill Band Review this weekend. I don't know if
big one.
That's a big one. I don't know if it'll come out before the show, so I didn't want to date it, but looking forward to doing that. And then, as we know, Halloween. So maybe I'll just say trick or treat safely. We're going to have a larger police presence out. We are aware of it. And then, yeah, we're just kind of moving through, like I said. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for watching this edition of Mayor's Report Pleasanton. Join us again for the next episode of Mayor's Report right here on Tri-Valley TV. I'm Marshall Kamina, and I thank you for joining us.